So hey guys, this is John. You are watching my YouTube channel to know what is the swapping and wrapping in non-technical way. So for non-programmers and non-technical guys, this is swapping and wrapping. So before that, we'll start with what is blockchain. Okay, so let's say there is a computer. Okay, so that has a CPU and a storage. The storage contains some informations like some date 10 rupees, current balance is 20 rupees. Okay, so this way this computer is having some information that will be used for something, some calculation. Okay, now he wants to share this data with someone else. Okay, now what he is going to do is he's going to copy this file and send it over the internet to another guy who is having another computer that may be a better specs or a Mac something. Okay, using the cloud, he will send that file to here. This guy will just receive the file. He will whatever the file got, he will just store it and then he'll assume that this is the value. Okay, but how we achieve this value, he doesn't know. When you ask this guy, he doesn't know unless he has the track of what the like record and when it was recorded, who sent that record, all those things. Now, this guy is saying, okay, I want to validate this. I can't just believe whatever you send. Okay, so let's be in sync. Whatever the entry you write, I need to validate that also at that time, and then only we will be sure that okay, you are giving the original data and that result is correct. Okay, so what they decide is to they will create a node. Okay, so this guy is node one and this guy is node two. So they are using the cloud to connect and share this data between them, and only if they agree, they will say okay, this is correct, and I'll store this data. Now, either one of them could cheat and say that you are the wrong one. So that time we'll add the third guy. So third guy can be also any machine. So let's say this is a laptop that is running some Linux, okay, and this guy is now validating your transactions on the internet. So you are also sending a copy to this guy. So he will keep this transaction whenever you are making change. You will send a copy to this guy, and at least two of them needs to agree that this is a valid data and this can be added. Then you will just track that value. Okay. Now let's say he has fabricated the data. Okay, this guy has fabricated the data and sending that, but still the value might come same because he has modified the data. So what we are going to have here is whenever there's a transaction, we will add a block head. Okay, so the block head can be something like simply say new date time. So everyone will have what is the latest new date time that has been added. Okay, so whenever there is a transaction, there has to be a new date time at the head of the transaction. Okay, so if someone misses a millisecond also, they will say, okay, you are having some other data. We are not receiving the same thing here. So that way the transaction will fail and this guy will get over. But what if he is also getting over that fact that the new date time, it won't run the same time for you guys. So the new date time cannot be uh, used as a pointer to tell that I'm sending the correct data or not, because this guy's new date time will be different here and here based on the time zones and the time of execution. Okay, this guy might go on offline and come back on online sometime later, so we need to find a way. Okay, so now let's say I'm creating the first block. Before creating the block, I need to create a chain. Okay, so this first block is called Genesis block. Genesis, terminate Genesis. Okay, so this block will start from zero, let's say. Okay, then he submits a transaction. Okay, so before that, so this zero is there, right? It will have a unique ID. Okay, that ID is generated randomly at that first. So this Genesis block is now shared between all three guys. Okay, So based on this Genesis block ID only, in the next block ID will be generated. Okay. So the next block ID will change if the Genesis block ID gets changed, and this block will be 1. Okay. Similarly, the block numbers will increase, new blocks will be added, and the ID that gets generated every time is based on what was the previous data also and current value. So this is called hash value or anything you can say in your non-programming term. But this is the chain of blocks and it's called blockchain. And this blockchain data is now shared between all three guys. This is decentralized network. So this is the decentralized blockchain data exchange. Now, if this is just three guys who has like a control over who joins the network and who cannot, who can interfere with them, then this is called a permission network. So this is a permission. So let's say they opened a okay traditional internet. Yeah. So they opened the internet and anyone can join the net and download this data and validate the network. Then any number of nodes can connect and keep validating the data. Okay. So now there is no benefit for validating someone else's data for these three people who just joined the network. So they need something, some fee for them. So that is called the transaction fee. So from paying nothing to validate your transactions in a permission network, when going public or permission network, you pay something. Okay. For that, there is this concept of native token. Okay. So this network could have a way of paying the bill. So this network is called Ethereum, and each machine running this, creating this blocks is called Ethereum virtual machine something. Okay, then the cryptocurrency that is used to pay the miners and also uh, like paying the miners or in like improving the network stability and giving something money to run the network, keep the running the network because you want more and more people to come in and validate and earn something and keep the network alive. So this is called this token is called Ether, and this is a native token or native crypto. Okay. So this is whole Ethereum blockchain in simple terms. Why from one machine sharing to another machine became a network, and a third guy for validation purpose joined in and created a node, and to make sure that this any of these participants are not fabricating with the data, we come up with this concept called Genesis block and hash and creating list of states and creating a blockchain and for more security and stability in the network and validation, we allow other people to join in the network, and this became a whole blockchain network. And to do the transactions in the network and paying the miners gas fee and some rewards, we come up with the concept called the proof of mining. So when someone mines this block, we will agree that that guy has mined the block and it's a random thing, and we will accept that as the correct one. Okay, so that will be added in the blockchain, that order. Okay, for that we are paying some ether to that guys. Okay, that's how the miners are getting paid for running the lot of servers or proof of stake, where these guys will be setting like giving some stake to validate the block. So this is how they are getting paid. Okay, now we got to Ether. So it's a one concept for a native cryptocurrency. Now we'll move on to a whole bunch of other crypto networks that will be used in this wrapping or swapping concept. Okay,